Hello again. I don't have a big message to give. I only recording because I wanted to say something, a small thing that that you can listen at me on YouTube and my website. I have two domains on internet where I have my recordings on, so you don't need to be here on SoundCloud to could listen at me. And it is I will write the addresses up on this episode. In the information of this episode, I will write down the addresses where you can find me, because I think it's a limit how much you can download on SoundCloud if you don't pay for free, and or if you have a simple plan you pay for. It's a limit of it, but there is no limit if you listen at YouTube and on my website. My website is not SoundCloud. I think it's Buzzsprout that I have there, and there is places where you can listen at this for free. I don't take any money from you. It's a platform that want to have the money from you, but I have no commercial, and I have not put up any pay plan. I don't get any money from SoundCloud or Buzzsprout or those Apple and those Spotify and those. I don't get any money from them. I pay. I have to pay money for to talk to you. So it's not on my part. For me, is it free to listen at all the episodes, but you can. But it's good if you also go to my YouTube channel, because then you can see me also, and I have had contact with the spirits before I started a podcast, and I have that recording, so you can watch me when I suddenly get a spirit coming to me, so you can see how it looked like. It's on my YouTube channel, and I have recording. It was already in 2015. It started that God told me that He wanted to talk. Before I have been talking more like on my own, but then 2015 suddenly I heard a voice from God, and God say that I should do a video and let Him talk. And it's in the beginning when God was talking to me, it was hard to know if it was really Him or if it was my own thinking. But it have been more clear today. But in 2015, I was not really sure if it was God that was telling me that, but it was a so strange message. So I was thinking it can't be me that I'm thinking like that God want to talk in a video. And in my my strange thinking, this in the hypnosis, the last episode I did, they say that the spirits I met in heaven, they say that I should change my mindset, and that it started in 2015 when I was thinking, God, I laughed because I have this weird thinking about God, that he was an old man sitting somewhere, and he was of the old time, like Old Testament, and then he was not in our time. I was thinking that he don't know anything about videos, and he don't talk to people in videos. And it's fun now when I have podcast and he's coming and talk to us in the podcast. But I have always, since 2000, I have always done what God tell me to do. And so in 22 years I have, when God is telling me to do something, I do it, and very quick. And so I open up my laptop and sit down and started a video recording, and I was thinking, the old man, the old God, he don't know anything about videos. And I only sit for under 1 minute, and suddenly he started to talk. God was talking, and talking. Of course, he was not talking in the air. It will come a day when he's talking to everyone in the air. But now he's talking to me like telepathy, like somewhere is he talking. I don't know where it's coming from when I hear God talking. It's only here. And so suddenly God come and talk to me, and to talk to people that watch my video. So I don't remember, because I have recording so much since 2015. Sometimes every day in a week, like I do with podcast. I have so much in my brain and so much coming to me from heaven to talk about. So, but you can find that first video where God was talking to me. You can find it on my YouTube channel, and I have many videos on Facebook that is stored, that I have not placed all of them in on YouTube. It have been for people that are my friends on Facebook. Some live broadcasting I have done on Facebook. It's public, so everyone can see it if you know my name to search for it, and you will find it. So you hear it now because it's spirits on me, so it make my brain be confused in what to say. But I know it should be a spirit coming because I felt like I should do the recording, and mostly of the time I do an episode, I don't know what to talk about, but it's coming to me when I start to recording, and the spirits are coming also, and this spirit make me get it's very, very much on me now, and I get pain in my forehead. I have not had headache or migraine for many, many years, but when the spirit is coming, they make me get headache, but not that normal kind of headache. I get pain in my forehead, and not in those area where normally we get headache. And it's something very, very much energy in this spirit that is coming through. And we'll see what he's saying, what he will say. It's a man that it's a higher priest, because he have white clothes and have white beard and white hair, and they don't look exactly the same, because this one is more, it's wrong to say fat, but he's big and really short also, not those like those other higher priests. And he have this staff. It's have this walking stick, a high one that is over his head. He's fun. He say that it's not hard for a walking stick to be higher than me. He say about that he's so short. So he had this. It's like a metallic stuff stick, and it's this stick that is curling in the end, in the top of it. It's like whirl around it, and he's standing there, and then he knock on the floor with it, like, pay attention now, like that to me. He don't want me to talk more. He want to talk. So I have no clue what he will say. It's not going on as we were thinking it should be. he said it's about the world. That is, I have talked to him. I have talked to those in heaven, talking through God. I talked to God about this, that it's so hard to reach people. I don't know what it is, because I have many people, listener from United States, but very much, most 90% of them is gone. But it can be also, like I was talking about in the beginning, that they have find another platform, another place where they can listen at me without paying for it. So it can be that it's not showing me in the statistic, and in that way it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because I am talking. I give message what I hear from heaven, and that's it. I don't have to compete with anyone. I do my work, and then it's not up on me to bring people to my podcast. It's those that is in heaven that have to do that work. I can't force people to come here, and I don't do these worldly things for create audience to listen at this podcast. I don't do that. I don't want to mix myself too much into the world. So what will come through, and who will listen at this, it's not on me. It's on those spirits that people can't see. They have to make people come to my podcasts, and then is it also up to you that listen to share my podcast and talk about my podcast. I have been at the university and been in class for how to do commercials, and the best commercials are from mouth to mouth, that people are talking about it. And that's what's, if you don't know it, or like think about it, but that's what they do to make commercial for themselves. So when they slap each other in the face, or when they get prizes, that can be that they have not had so much job for a long time, and they need job, and then they make commercial for themselves to be actor in movies again. This can be when they do this, because people, media is very important. If media think that what people are doing make them to sell more newspaper, magazine, then they write about it. And so it's depend on each other. When the media have something to write about, they do it for to sell. And those that do these things, most of the time they have an agenda why they want to be seen. And so this is about what people act. It's very important for those in the spirit world to see that people take action. They act on what they hear from God, not what the world are doing, what God is talking about, what the spirit world is talking about. It's not only that to listen to my podcast, it's also to tell your friends about it and write about it and share it. I think I have seen some share episodes from my podcast. So I think it's working to copy a link to my podcast for you. You can do it on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, link to my podcast. So more people come to know about God, the real God. And then it's also about why the American listener have stopped download episodes. Is this what they are talking about in heaven? The mindset. They told me in the hypnosis for 4 years ago that I have to change my mindset to really understand them, to not go for what I have learned earlier in life. That I have not had much teaching from people. I was in all kind of churches, gathering places in United States, and listened to those preachers, and I get some knowledge from them, but those knowledge can be wrong. So I have to let some of it go and only listen to what the spirits are saying, what the God is saying, and cast out those what man is telling me. They don't know anything. So the mindset must be like that. And when I live in United States, there was some kids coming up to the altar, and the preacher, almost most of it was their relatives, their kids' relatives, standing in the front and reading something from the Bible, and they have learned it by heart, as they say in United States. Without reading it, they can tell a whole verse of the Bible, exactly what it say, and this brainwash of children they do in United States. And I understand it's hard to go away from what your parents have told you and what the pastor in that church where you were to as a child and still are in, what they are saying, because they most of the time they talk against God. You think they talk for God, but they talk against God, because most of those churches in United States is about Jesus, and he is not God. And I think that they have walking away from this podcast because they fight with this, that I'm saying very often that Jesus is not God, because they have learned from the beginning, when they were a small child, that Jesus is God. And it's hard that one person is telling them that Jesus is not God, when the whole childhood, the whole adult life, all the people around them are saying that Jesus is God. And I understand it must be very hard to change your mind. It's like to be addicted to alcohol or drugs. It's very hard to walk away from that life, because in that life you have all your so-called friends. When I was drinking, I was heavy drinker, and I knew I was on my own in that time also, but when I felt me lonely, I knew where I could go and have people around me. There was some homes, apartments where they sit and drink, that always drink every day. People was gathering there, because sometimes we get free to drink, especially when a woman, a young, beautiful woman, coming there and give them sex also, because of good drinking there and have fun, what we thought was fun in that time, and so what this is life, but it wasn't. And I'm glad that I don't become a copy of my father, that I could walk away from the habit drinking. But then I also lost those places where I could go and drink together with people, and it comes so far. So I was to the pub, and then I stopped drinking, so I order in coffee the whole time, and then they put up a sign, a paper, that it was not allowed to drink coffee after 6 o'clock in the evening. That's because I was drinking. I was drinking very much of these expensive alcoholic things, so they didn't like that some other people could copy me, so they stopped. So I never come back to that pub. and continue to be sober. And I fix it. But it was, I know it's so very hard, because that's the life that you know about. That is you have some sort of control over that life. But the real life, the sober, clean life, that is very hard to have control over. So you go back and you want to stay in that life you are used to live, and that is also that you go back to that life when you have that in your mind that Jesus is God, and you don't want to change, because going away from the thinking that Jesus is God, that make you not have control over your life, but you don't think so far that you have control later on, when you have got another life, another mindset. But people are impatient and don't want to wait, and I think that it's okay, I can live forever with my lifestyle anyway, and why should I trust her? Why should I go for one person, what it's saying, when the whole group, the whole world is telling me something different? So that the Spirit, it wants me to talk about it. The Spirit that is here. Now he's coming back to tell you that he had not left. He have only affect me to talk like I have done. You know, they have said that they affect our life without we have not know it. But now I am aware of it. I know it with my DNA test, and find out my ancestor and these things, that I have been in those places where they have lived. They have taken me to places where, small places, somewhere out in nowhere, and I have lived there, been there, and remember I was there because it was something special with that place. And now when I do my DNA, then I find out they have lived in this little place in nowhere land somewhere. This about, I was in England, and we were in London, and that was our vacation, should be to be in London and go to the pub and drinking beer and be there. And my daughter's father and we had no children in that time, and we had the car with us. And then suddenly one evening we said that no, it's not fun in London. We travel away somewhere else. Both of us say that. And then we go to Stratford-on-Avon, and that was the Shakespeare was born there. And Shakespeare is my ancestor. So I remember it well, because I love that city with all the so much roses around in the city, and then there was this theater that was really special to in that time in the 84, I think it was this theater where we were standing like in on the rocks, only standing in a soccer football field like that, but not with grass, with rocks, and we're standing there because we have to turn around and look at the picture that come up in front of us, around us, and then we say we go to, and then we wanted to go to Liverpool, and it just have opened the Beatles Museum, so we wanted to go up there, and we were there one night, and then suddenly we say we go to Scotland because we were so high up in England, and then we go to Edinburgh, and then I don't know how we did it, but I sit at the castle, and Edinburgh, and is it Mary Stuart? No, I don't remember what it was. She that is red hair, the queen. I think she was killed. Oh, I'm Henry VIII, I am Henry VIII, I am. And I sit there for a short time, because we have lost, of some very strange reason, we have lost one day of our vacation, and we don't know where we lost it, and so we have to only turn around when we come to Edinburgh. But I wanted to go to the castle first before we left, and that's my ancestor. So it have been many times I find out that why was I there? Why did I go there? And then I see it now, it's my ancestor that have make me go there. So they have affect us and push us and lead us without we know it. And but now today I know it, and you be awake about it also, that listen, that you maybe can tell that this was not in my plan, but I come to that place. And it's the same when you meet your husband or wife, that when people ask you, how do you come to know each other and be married to each other, and you tell a very strange story, something that it should not happen, but it happened. But it doesn't happen of no reason. It's the ancestor that want you to meet each other. So and so all those men I have met and lived together, at least more than half of them have I found out. It's good that I didn't know that they are ancestor to me, but not close distance, is in a long distance, but they are my ancestor. That's why we are attracted to each other, because we are related. Even far away, we are not the first cousin, for example. Well, it's not that kind of distance, but we are connected. So the spirits, it was this, about this, to get the relationship. He wanted to tell you that there is not something that called accident. It's accidentally. Nothing that calls accidentally. It is, or it's the fate. It's nothing. That word doesn't exist. It's not in the spirit world, because they know exactly what they are doing to us, and but it's strange to thinking about that. There is people that is going away, that is so very negative. He answer very quick now here. He say that it's not they that push in that direction. It's other forces, he say, that is coming. Now we start to talk something important here. But how, I ask him, how do we get this? How people can get this negative push, negative spirits that lead them to why do they? I should not ask why. I have to say something else and ask him about it. He say that is in people's wants. They are teased. They are teased. It's in the nature of the human that a part of the human race is evil. But they overcome this tickling, the teasing. They overcome that because the environment, those people they have around them, offer them another option. And that is also the action of people, the act. You know that I have done that mistake also. I have done this awful thing earlier in my life, that I have seen bad things happen to children, and I have not told about it. I have not told the police. I have not told people that could have changed that child's life. And you know that things that happen in the childhood, it's very likely that it's follow that person through the whole life, and it's very hard to erase it and take away it and and once again to change the mindset, so the evil energy and the evil thinking don't get any place to growing, to hold back those thoughts and action, and that is very much depend on those that is around that person, that child, that how we act to could help. To ignore and saying to yourself that this is not my business, that is to kill. It's the same as God say we should not kill. We have to do our best to help if we see something that is really on need to be helped. We can't only say that's not my business or ignore it and turn around and walk away from it, when that can cause that person be killed or be killed in the long run, in the whole life, be killed. So, he's on me. So he is saying that's why I wanted you to do a recording, because I wanted to talk about these things. He said to me, and it's a higher priest, so this was saying on high level, but also on a higher level. It was said in a high level from heaven, but it was also coming from the higher level in heaven, from one higher priest, even if he is not so high. I love you. Oh, you're laughing at me. He didn't be angry at me because I say that as a joke. So we love each other, he and I. So he's waving with his hand. He's on his way to go with his stick, taller than him, much taller than him. I love it when they come in, the spirits. It's so interesting. It's so, I wonder what are they going to say, because I'm zero in my brain. I don't have anything to say. And then they start to talk, and it's coming things from them. It's not me. I am total empty of what should I say next. When I have started the first things talking, I say that my first talking was I will repeat it if someone is coming in later on in this recording. I'm going to give you addresses to places where you can listen at my podcast without to pay for it. I have websites and I have YouTube channel, and on my YouTube channel you also can watch me get this talking from spirits. You can see how I change. That can make more sense for you to see how it's working when you see me. Those videos is is live broadcasting that I have done. I can do live broadcasting on YouTube. So maybe one day I'm going to do it now, when the spirits are coming down in my home and is showing me themselves. So maybe it look different. I will do a live broadcasting about it, about this, how I recording, and I will tell you when I'm going to do it, so you maybe can be with me in a live broadcasting. And if you are going to be my friend, you on Facebook, you can see it live there also. So thank you for listening. It I thought it should be only 10 minutes episode like that, but I never know when the spirits are coming. I know my headache is gone. So thank you for listening. God loves you, and I love you too. And have a blessed life.